And welcome to the show. I'm Matt Jolly. This is the Show Center, the AIRSHOW podcast, socially distant air show. I'm an out-of-work AIRSHOW announcer, and I'm joined by two other out-of-work AIRSHOW announcers, my good friend Rick Peterson and Rob Ryder. Hello, guys.
By the way, we should point out that there's going to be technical glitches throughout this right off the bat, and we were just waiting for Facebook, and YouTube was already up and going, but we're broadcasting worldwide right now. Technical nightmare that this show is going to be. In a few moments, you're going to be introduced to Steph in Portland, Oregon. Heartland, Ohio is where Rob is sitting in. West Georgia is where Matt is. Lower Alabama, LA, but Lower Alabama is where all of the mixing is being done by Brian Lee. And then if we go to the Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas area, his dad, Jeff Lee, Live AIRSHOW TV, is there. And then from all of this, it all goes to one of those two, and then up to Minnesota, where it goes out to the world. So expect some problems before the next 2 hours are done, but also expect an awful lot of fun. Right, Rob?
Absolutely. And got to tell you, we have such great participation in this air show. We have 8 countries represented. We have the United States, we have Canada, the UK, Belgium, Brazil, Italy, Switzerland, and France, all providing what is in most cases, exclusive video. That's in much of which has never been seen anywhere before, but it all goes to a great cause, doesn't it, Matt?
Let's talk a little bit about that, Rick. You want to enlighten everybody at home what we're doing and how this came about?
Absolutely. Thanks to Lockheed Martin, by the way, Geico, Skies Magazine, and Lucas Oil. Their generous gifts already are going to help a great deal. Text GIVE to the number that you see at the bottom of the screen throughout the broadcast. It'll be there for you to consider. Our event, like the event industries themselves and the music industry, has been hit pretty hard. The ICAST Foundation, we approached them. We asked, could you set up a fund to help those who may need some assistance through this crisis? And they have, and 100% of the proceeds from this broadcast will go to those in our industry who may need it. So give what you can, Matt.
That's right. Some fun stuff going on, too, on social media. Let's bring Steph Strickland in here because Steph's already on top of it all right now. Steph Strickland joining us from her kitchen as we all continue to
here in Portland, Oregon. And I have to give a special shout out. Right now, I'm checking out our YouTube channel. Then I'll pop over to Facebook. I want to say hello to Alpha Experience. You are very welcome for this event. A lot of folks super excited to see you guys, see what we have in store today for Ab Geek Joe. He makes the joke, fashionably late. Yes, we're here now and we're up and going. So I'm here checking out your comments. And by the way, for those of you who are watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you have an Instagram page and you take a little video of you watching this air show and you tag Live AirShow TV and you want to be included in the broadcast tomorrow, we're going to take as many of those as we can. You have to tag Live AirShow TV on Instagram. We'll put them all together and we'll show them tomorrow and the next day as well. We are getting check-ins from across the planet. It is super cool.
That is great. Well, you can't have an air show unless you have an air boss. And here to help us kick off today, our honorary air boss of the day is none other than Mr. Wayne Boggs. Wayne, what do you have?
Ladies, gentlemen, please. Welcome to the Socially Distant Air Show. Keep our game face on. Let's stay focused. Keep everybody safe. And as I've said many, many times before, people are amazed the damn things fly anyway. So let's enjoy the show. I'll see you on the freak.
I guarantee you Wayne has still not figured out how to watch, so we're safe to say whatever we want to about it.
No kidding.
I hope he submits a video of him trying to watch the broadcast because I don't know if he's going to be able to tune in or not. But,
Today, by the way, too, coming up this hour, we've got the Belgian F-16, the RAF Red Arrows, the F-35 Shockwave world premiere coming up before today's broadcast is done. And this is day one, Rob, of 3 days.
It is indeed. And all of those days will have these great air show acts, including, well, we'll finish up with the United States Air Force Thunderbirds, the Patriots jet team, as you said, and so many great performers, all of whom have decided they're going to put together stuff for this to help support our family, just like, as you said, Rick, other entertainment types have gone out on a limb to support their own families as well.
That's right.
Right into it.
A little stir crazy too. I think is that where you were going, Rick? Because Adam Baker is a friend of all of ours, but I talked to him and he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. What am I going to do? And I'm like, well, just send us a video of what you would normally do, but maybe do some of it inverted. And Adam, well, he's creative, and well, just take a look. He's poor guy. I'm worried about him.
I was going to say this, he's inside, but he's losing his mind, as you can see, because all he's thinking about is the sky, and it's upsetting him. So back into his daily routine he goes, and it's just sad, isn't it? Look at this, man. I mean,
Really Whites, though, I'm telling you, out doing his calisthenics in the morning. That's what Rob does every morning. He gets out there in his flying suit.
I do. I get out there, and just like the neighbors of Adam and his son, I get people looking at me saying, why is that guy doing that? We just don't quite get it.
yeah, I think the son's more inclined to just want to live with them at this point. Not so much at home. I mean, he's keeping the G tolerance up and wanting to know what it's like to be upside down and right side up. But he's got to do the home crafts and everything. He's got to do the homeschooling thing. As you can see, he's getting into that with his son. But the day is getting long now, and I think he is longing to get to the airport. Going to do a few more push-ups, and that's just sad.
Yeah.
Is what it is. And here's where it's the saddest moment of all, where he's got to sit there and get very sad about the fact that he's not doing. There you go, Matt. You're right. He does things inverted now.
Yeah, look at that.
You know what we need, though, is we need to get him. He needs to just break out. He just needs to give up on all of this at home and get out of the house and get to the airport.
Got done with all the honeydew stuff, and now he's getting ready to go. He's an excited guy.
Adam is excited. Go ahead, Rick.
Here we are at the. I'm sorry, Matt. That's one of our first glitches, by the way. Is the sound in and out, and we're going to have to get used to that as we go live. But look at this. You describe this, Matt, because this sunset flight is amazing.
Yeah, it is. I love watching the aileron here, though, at the end of the wing. Watch this.
And Matt is locked up.
When he really gets going with it. But I love this video of Adam, and especially this night scene is just spectacular. It makes you want to be there, doesn't it?
It does, and the airplane is so pretty. Playful, by the way. It's Playful Air Shows, and he's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well. But Playful, family-friendly video game making studio based there, and some of the most fun and memorable games for all the top consoles, as well as computer-based games for that at-home experience. And games that bring people together, promote sharing, engineering, thinking outside the box, and of course, they are incredibly fun to play. What a perfect sponsor. And just to get us into what's going on with the broadcast today, a look at what's been going on in his life and where he wants to be, and what a crowd to watch him.
I got to say that Adam does not come from an aviation family. This is a guy who has earned it all himself, and you just can't help but be proud of a young guy like that. His family, his wife is also his co-pilot.
Yep.
Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
I was just going to mention that his wife was a pilot as well, and they not only fly airplanes like this, but they fly some fancy business jets too.
That's incredible. I love it. I love watching Adam fly. You know, one of the cool things about Adam is when you watch him work the crowd line at the end, he will spend just hours upon hours with anybody, really. And I think that, to me, that's always the mark of a real professional, but it's also the mark of a guy that just truly loves what he's doing. And you can't help but see that in everything that Adam does. What a creative video, and awesome way to kick off our socially distant air show. So if you're just joining us, we're glad you're here. And it was Adam Baker we were just seeing there. We still have to come today, the F-35, which is coming up in just a second. But Rick, what do you wanted to add in there? Something I could see it.
Not really. I think it's like chasing the sunset is a fun thing to do, and he got to do it. And you just get a little more altitude, and you get to see the sunset again. And over he did that. But yeah, I can't wait to get to the F-35. We got to get to the jet, Matt.
We do need to get to the jet. Rob, are you ready?
I am,
jet?
because we get to Beowulf right away.
Right, here it is.
Hey everybody, Captain Beowulf here with the F-35A demonstration team, coming to you virtually from Hill Air Force Base, Utah, where we've been practicing weekly to stay proficient in our demonstration routine. We hope everybody is staying safe and healthy out there, and we're really glad to be a part of the Socially Distant Air Show. Here's a look at some of our demonstration maneuvers, and we hope to bring them to an air show near you. Stay safe.
Awesome job there, the F-35.
As Bayo, as she takes off, we'll have these in-cockpit shots. You got to take a look at the helmet. The helmet costs more than a couple of my houses, actually. It is so incredible. She has the ability to look straight down and see through the floorboards of the jet, and she can see because there are 6 cameras located around that jet that stitch together so she can see a picture with far more clarity than the human eye and at greater distances as well. Rick, you and I had the opportunity to see some of that when we went down to Lockheed Martin a couple of years ago.
And watching this jet being built too, it was an uncanny experience to walk into Lockheed Martin and not hear any noise. This is an industrial setup. There's jets being made in what looks like a long assembly line, and yet it's quiet. It's just quiet because of all the technology. It's just the airplane isn't made the way the airplanes of yesteryear were made. An awful lot of gluing and layering and electronic components and everything going into the making of this jet. 5th gen fighter. Finally out on the display circuit, full-up display. Kristen Wolf, Bayo Wolf, the call sign, the commander of the F-35A, and she really puts it through its paces. And perhaps later this year, as she does the high G combat radius turn, perhaps at some point this season, we're going to get to see them using flares as well, because in North America, this was to be the big year of the flare, Matt.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, but I just love watching the A model. Of course, one of the lighter weight models of the F-35 doesn't have the big lift fan on it, but the A model here, Rob, you and I were talking about this, about a year or so ago, the first time they came out with the demo, just how impressive this thing is.
Indeed it is. For a single-engine jet to have what I believe is the most powerful single-engine fighter in the world is what that has given it its power. But it goes beyond that. The stealth technology, that 5th generation fighter that it is, also has some incredibly impressive data transfer capabilities. And so many different partner countries are using this. There are now over 500 flying. And the export models are not, as some have been in the past, dumbed down of other airplanes. You can get a partner nation F-35 and have it communicate data-wise with a United States F-35 with data speeds that are so very, very fast. It's a very impressive airplane. And the cost per unit, because the construction is going so well, the actual, it's an expensive jet, but it's still, the prices keep coming down, Rick.
And we see, of course, Utah in the background. And yes, you see snow there, the 388 Fighter Wing, Hill Air Force Base in Utah, where all of the rehearsing has been going on. And again, a rehearsal that they can share with us. And we thank Captain Kristen Wolf and the entire team, the F-35A Lightning II demonstration team, for this, and a chance to see it in cockpit as well. And that's a brand new airplane with an awful lot of technology in there that you can't see right now, and that's why the camera's facing the way it is. But it's outstanding to watch it fly through its paces, and she's doing such a great job.
I couldn't agree more. That is one of my favorite maneuvers, the one that they were just finishing up there with that pedal turn there. The F-35A and Bayo really doing a great job. Now, this is something unique, this square loop, Rob. I think you have some information on this, but you don't see jets do this an awful lot.
No, because the amount of G's that it takes to turn make a 90-degree turn like that gets pretty significant. But as we see, the 360 camera looks down as she picks up speed. She'll level off at about 2,500 feet and pull about 7 G's just to get back level. And it's just an amazing thing to see. She doesn't mush when she comes out of it like other jets that try the square loop. They mush a little bit with the nose coming up, but not a problem. Slow speed, high speed, it can do it any way you want. And the angle of attack and the capabilities of the F-35 enable it to go very slowly, which can be, as we have learned by our Top Gun 1 experience, put on the brakes and let them fly right by. Rick?
Yeah, the cool thing too about, we should point this out with the technology and the limitations we have to be able to bring this to you the way we are through social media, this socially distant air show. We don't get an awful lot of the sounds. We're going to provide where we can some raw sounds from how this sounds. I know a lot of people commented they want to hear the burner on this jet because that big jet engine makes a lot of noise in air shows. Man, do we miss that noise. But through a lot of the video that we'll be sharing over the next 3 days, we're not going to get a chance to hear it all full out and full up because of the technology, and that technology limiting the screen size and things like that, so that we can put all of this together for you. But it's still so impressive to watch this jet, and we can't wait to see it on the air show circuit, man.
Amen. You know what people are not missing though right now? Porta potties. They're not missing the porta potty lines. Guarantee you about that. Check this out though. Just the last few seconds here of the F-35A, courtesy of your United States Air Force. If you're living here in the United States, we're so happy to have their participation in this show. It really is outstanding. All of the participation that we've had from not only the Air Force here in America, but just around the world. And we couldn't be happier. Steph Strickland joining us now here with a look at what's going on socially, if you will.
Guys, for all of you out there watching us on YouTube and Facebook, this is incredible. I have too many shout outs. It's not even possible for me to keep up with it, but I do want to give a special hello to Tamara, who's watching out in Belgium, as well as Christina in Italy, and Stj in the Netherlands. I know I butchered your name and I'm tremendously sorry, but I'm so grateful you guys are all a part of this. We are up on Facebook. We are up on YouTube. The comments are coming in. Everybody, by the way, loving the F-35. Bayo also used to fly the F-22. We've got the Raptor demo, a part of this socially distant air show as well, coming up later on. But anyway, if you're out there, we've got the Red Arrows now joining the stream. Hello, team lead Martin Pert. We see you just popping in. For anyone out there who wants to be a part of this, send us a little video of where you're watching from anywhere in the world and tag us on our Instagram, Live Air Show TV. We're going to put together a little video and we'll make you part of the broadcast tomorrow and the next day. This is incredible. My heart's happy. This is awesome.
Again, thanks. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead. Thanks
to Lockheed Martin. I just wanted to make sure that we get our gift people in Lockheed. Echo Skies Magazine and Lucas Oil have given us some generous gifts too. And text GIVE to the number on the bottom of the screen. Like the music industry, the event industries, as we said off the top, our industry's been pretty hard hit as well. And 100% of the proceeds going into the ICAS Foundation, and a fund set up for those who may need before this air show season is over. Matt.
Well, I was just going to get back into it. Let's get back into the jets here. We have on Thursday, I still can't believe this actually happened, but we do have a performance from your United States Air Force Thunderbirds, and it is unique. It is just so incredibly unique to see behind the scenes in a full demo. It's going to be fantastic. But here, take a look at what's coming ahead on Thursday.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lieutenant Colonel John Caldwell, Thunderbird 1. We hope you're staying safe and healthy out there, and we are excited to be a part of this socially distant air show.
Known to all the world as Thunderbirds!
Lines on top, 73150, back in with the bull.
And it's going to be really exciting, without a doubt. Gotta love the Thunderbirds.
You know, we're all out of work right now, the three of us. We started this podcast, which, by the way, Show Center, the Air Show podcast, you can follow it on Podbean. You can follow it on Warbird Radio, by the way, if you don't want to mess with Podbean, but whatever. We'd love to have you sign up and take a listen to it. We started this before we all got out of work because we talk so frequently. We just kind of wanted to share stories and whatnot. But one guy who is not out of work is our buddy Jamie. Rick, you want to explain what you're about to see? Because
Jamie Samuel, Sierra in Aeronautics in Kentucky, managed to get another job. Now he has a vintage Bell 47 helicopter, and roll it, Brian, because he has found work in Kentucky, normally doing helicopter rides and demonstrations at air shows for the past 10 days. He's been hovering at a landfill to dry dirt. You heard it, 8 hours a day, he dries dirt, and he's being paid to do it. The local TV stations even came out to cover this. because that is what he has sadly been doing instead of flying air shows. Matt.
Well, I love it. And I love that he sent us a video of it, making more money than all three of us combined right now. Isn't that great?
Right. Sod farm, right? He's working a sod farm so they can grow sod for people's lawns. Of course, depending on where you live, you can't have sod because you can't. Never mind.
Never mind.
Hey,
I just want to do a quick look ahead to the Belgian F-16, the RAF Red Arrows, the F-35 we saw, but the Shockwave world premiere coming up into the next hour, where for the first time, Chris Darnell is going to fire the new Shockwave up in his driveway. You can't make this stuff up, only on the socially distant air show, Matt.
That's right. We were joking about this, but it's become the largest aviation event in the world for 2020. I'd like to point that out too, for 2020, the year that nothing else is happening, but we're happy to be here with you nonetheless. So when you have two board air show pilots and one of the greatest parachute teams on earth dream something up for an air show that's going to happen online, this is what happens. Should we show them now? I think
This is what you get. Bill Stein and Rob Holland are about to appear with the Patriot parachute team. Isaiah, Eric, Epi, Chad, Larry, Matt, Nick, G, Pat. The Patriot parachute team, veteran-owned and operated company, raising awareness for veteran causes to include transitioning after active duty. And what they have suspended between the three jumpers right now is a ribbon. And this is a ribbon cut in the sky, if you will. And you have Rob Holland coming one way and Bill Stein coming the other way. And at the same time, closest they could get it anyway, they sever the ribbons. So this is a ribbon cut quite a few feet above the ground. Here comes, Bill is coming this way. Here he comes. And he gets it. There goes Rob Holland across the other side and the ribbon between them. Now you're going to get it at different angles too, because these guys, there's Bill Stein. The airplane's pretty much purple right now, and we all know it changes color. He's coming in. He's got it all lined up. Here's what it looks like from the jumper's point of view, Matt, and this scares the bejeepers out of me.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that. How fun, though, to be with Bill Stein and Rob Holland. The Patriots just have to love this. I didn't really know. I thought when these two guys said they were going to send something, I didn't know what to expect. I never in a million years would have guessed this, though. Just look, a partner in this show, and truly, truly generous. We can't thank them enough. And if you'd like to become a part of the action here, you can text to donate, or you can simply give online as we roll in to the bottom of the hour, the second half of our first hour here. Steph, I know you're in there, and you probably have some stuff to share with us coming up here in a few minutes. I hope you have something good, because we're going to need it here as we roll into the second.
Steph, can I just say before you get going here how fun it is to watch? And again, we've turned it into a bit of a drinking game, I think, is every technical thing.
I'm doing it wrong. I have coffee.
Every time Matt talks, his image freezes, and it makes it look like you're just stonewalling us here. But we're going to deal with this throughout the day. Go ahead, Steph.
Hey, we've got folks all over the place on our Facebook stream. I want to say hello to Justin, who is watching in Buffalo, as well as to Brad in North Carolina. We've got Jim in Colorado Springs. We do have more jets coming. I'm hearing that from everybody on both our YouTube as well as our Facebook. They want to see the jets. We get it. You saw the F-35. It's completely awesome. By the way, if you're interested, take a video of where you're watching us from and tag us on Instagram at Live Air Show TV. If you want to be a part of the broadcast tomorrow and the next day, we'll put together your little shout outs and your videos, as many of them as we can, and make you a part of the show as well. So yes, I'm going to shut up so we can get to the jets.
Buffalo, by the way. Which Buffalo? Buffalo, New York? Okay, because Buffalo, Minnesota, Matt, is where we're going next.
That's right. Let's move on in. I want to welcome our sponsor for this half hour. Not our sponsor. I keep too many years in commercial television and radio. A generous giver, Lucas Oil, who has been so generous to us. Take a look at this.
Hi, I'm Lucas Oil Air Show pilot Mike Wiskus, and this is a real tough time for everyone, but I just ask that you could just give what you can.
Man, you hear that F-16 go flying over there as Mike. Watch how he gets into his airplane, the pits that he bought as a wreck on eBay and then rebuilt to be able to do the kind of flying that we're about to see. The Lucas Oil pit special, Mike Wiskus, at the controls. And yeah, he got it on eBay, Matt, and rebuilt it.
And Mike has such a great repair facility up there in Minnesota. He also has created some of the most iconic aircraft on the air show industry today. He's a phenomenal builder and craftsman in his own right, and one of my favorite aerobatic pilots to watch because he exudes fun. I don't know how else to say it. He's just a fun guy to watch fly, and I think you'll see that come across in this video. Rob, you want to jump in there? I can see.
Yeah, he was. I wanted to say that as I look at that shot, it said "Brute" on it, and he did something that very unique and innovative. He decided to load some Brute cologne into the smoke oil tank, and so you could smell his airplane as it went by, and the ladies just loved it.
Reminded me of Grandpa for some reason. But
I always go there.
The airplane, though, as he flies this, Mike, and we can't explain it. We saw a viral video not too long ago, Bill Stein and Rob Holland and some others playing some music together, and that was outstanding. But there is a combination. I mean, Matt plays the organ. I play the trumpet, not well, but I play the trumpet. Rob is a great singer and musician as well. There is a musical connection to flying. Mike at one point actually wrote for some of Nashville's biggest singers, and it all started, Matt, I think you know the story of him starting as a wedding singer.
Started out as a wedding singer. He would play at weddings, and that's how he started out, playing there at for weddings. That'd be pretty cool, though.
And now he is a very nice, fine guitarist and singer as well, and writing a lot of Christian music. That he and I have shared some of that, and it's great to hear him. I love how, though, he has, you talk about the fun he has as we saw him there as he ducked down below the crowd out of the way.
I really do miss the flying. I miss the traveling. I miss my friends on the road. I miss the fans. I miss tumbling airplanes end over end. But what I really miss are the boats.
Now, he's an avid boater, too, but when it comes to air shows, out over the water, the center marker is often a boat, and it's crewed with essential personnel, and it's usually firefighters and emergency response people like that, and Mike likes to do a shout-out in an unusual way. And, Matt, we've all done the Huntington Beach show, which is such a fun thing to do, and you now own that one as far as announcing goes, and you've seen Mike as we see him here over the beach and get real close to these boats.
He does. I mean, just look at this. The crowd really gets into this. And I mean, as I do, just watching it, rolling around like that. On this next pass, though, look how close he gets right there.
The airplane is actually wet at this point, but almost anything out into the water. Steve Nye, his video guy, is out on the end of this pier. So Mike wants to make sure that he gets the perfect shot. So here he comes.
Look at this, right there.
I've gone through a lot in my life. I've seen a lot in my life. And you always get through it. Be positive. Don't think that this is the end. It's not. This is just life.
I love it.
I miss those crowds. I really do. Especially the crowd at Huntington Beach.
What is going on with Jamie? Is he still out there?
We should check in again. Is the dirt dry yet in Kentucky? That's the question.
Nope, still not.
About half of it looks dry. As Jamie has managed to find some work in these dry times.
You know who's not out of work right now is our next guy, Tom Richards. For all the Warbird lovers out there, Tom runs a really great school down there in Florida, in Kissimmee, Florida, Warbird Adventures, and the guy is living the American dream. Am I wrong? I mean, Rick, you and Rob both know this story, but I'll let you share it.
Well, the idea is that he was a young kid in Sweden who always wanted to come to the U.S. and fly Warbirds and race at Rhino. But why don't we go right to him right now? Here comes Tom Richard.
Howdy, Airshow fans. This is Tom Richard with P-40 Warhawk American Dream, coming to you virtually from Kissimmee, Florida, for the socially distant airshow provided by Live Airshow TV. We're going to bring you back to last summer to the greatest little show on turf, the Geneseo Air Show. Enjoy.
Cannot believe the footage that we're going to see is at Geneseo, New York. Sadly, they had to cancel the National Warplane Museum. They had to cancel the show, the greatest show on turf. It's flown with a grass runway, which Tom has landed in and on several times. And if it gets a little wet there in Geneseo, New York, that runway gets pretty mushy, especially at one end. And the mud flies up in the airplane. I mean, that's the way they were designed anyway, and for those kinds of runways. But Geneseo, and you see him fly this beautiful routine. He runs a vintage flight school and museum in Kissimmee, World War II trainers, fighters that he has. This one, and it is a TP-40. And the way it works is if you know how to fly and everything, you know how to fly a Warbird plane, you take control of this fighter plane, Matt.
Yeah, you can actually fly from the front seat, Tom, in the T6. I don't think you can do that on the P-40. I could be wrong, but it's a remarkable aircraft. It is its own right, a true piece of history. This one, actual combat history on this airplane, which is really, really remarkable. So many of the early restorations that we saw in the Warbird community were not actual combat vets. This one is. We're seeing more and more of that being covered on Warbird Radio and some of the other sources out there that I'm close to. That's so cool to me to see combat vet being flown now at a show. Hopefully when we return, more air shows across the country, bringing this living history. You know, Rob, you can go to a museum and you can see a stuffed lion, and you go to the zoo and you hear it roar. It just brings something else to it.
Yeah, it sure does. When he was 17, his grandfather gave him $2,500. He came over to the U.S. and has lived his American dream. And this is a guy who's grateful for what's gone on in this country. As he touches down ever so gently, we're just about ready to go back to Tom.
Hope you enjoyed seeing American Dream being put through her paces. During the lack of airshow season, feel free to visit us on Facebook at P40 Warhawk American Dream or Instagram #P40 American Dream. You can also visit us on our website for the latest updates and American Dream gear, WarbirdAdventures.com. I hope to see all of you during a very busy and exciting airshow season later this summer. As always, we appreciate your support of the ICAS Foundation. Now back to Rick, Rob, and Matt.
Y'all stay safe out there.
He may look cool now, but we've got outtakes, Matt, and it's not cool at all. We may share those before the day is done.
Been warned, Tom. Hey, we want to get right to the Jets. We don't want to keep them waiting, and we have something so cool here, Rick. I'll let you set it up because you're intimately involved with this show.
Vader over in Belgium, the F-16 solo display, complete with flares and a sunset setting. This year celebrating 40 years of service of the F-16 to the Belgian Air Force, handing over to the new F-35. Vader, senior captain Stefan Dart, spent most of his career flying with the 1st Scottish Thistle Squadron, 2nd Tactical Wing, and well, I'll let him do the introduction and then sit down and stand back, because this is going to be absolutely wonderful. Go for it, Vader.
Hi everyone, I'm Vader. I'm the Belgian F-16 demo pilot. We are all missing air shows over the world. This year it's difficult. We are going through difficult times. However, as from today, the 21st, you can tune yourself on YouTube on live airshow TV, and during those 3 days you will be able to follow the biggest airshow event ever. We'll get through this together. Please stay home, stay safe. You can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram on Vader_pictures. Stay strong.
Because of the technical issues that we can't offer you the raw sound, because almost all of this routine, almost all of it, is flown in Afterburner. The Sanical Air Show in Belgium is where I get a chance to work with this team for the past few years. Sadly, another one of the air shows this September, they've had to cancel because of this COVID-19 crisis. But this is what it looks like over Belgium as the setting sun is happening, and with flares that you'll see shortly. We get Vader flying here. The Dark Falcon is what it's called. His call sign is a reference. He's a Star Wars fanatic. Darth Vader is actually painted in a small way on the tail fin of the airplane, and it is a beautiful display. The team itself consists of 1 display pilot and 14 technicians and a webmaster, interestingly enough. And it would be wrong at any one of the times that we're presenting some of these jet teams to just focus on the pilot. It takes the team to fly these airplanes. He did some of his training at Shepherd Air Force Base, as an awful lot of the Europeans do, as they get ready to transition. 3,000 flying hours plus in the F-16, and it's just great to have him here, Rob. Look at this, at the afterburner, and watch for the flares in just a moment.
Indeed, and something else I want you to keep your eyes on as we get ready to see these flares being dispensed. As we see the airplane go by, we've already seen it once. Unlike our American demo teams, from the wingtips, they have the vortex, the smoke generators in the wingtips. And the only time we've ever seen that here in this country is when Lockheed Martin at the Alliance Air Show in Fort Worth, when Bland Smith would fly as the company demo pilot. We saw that kind of wingtip smoke, and that is unique around the world.
Look at how beautiful he makes it as he spirals away from the crowd line and dropping these flares. Round and round he goes. And again, another rare opportunity to be able to see in the cockpit and the surface shots as well. And watch, again, the burner barely ever turns off. And that is a very demanding routine, as you can well imagine. And at some points, too, in the what we call a banana pass, Matt, we see that in Europe where the pilots actually push it out so you get the top side as they turn away from the crowd and those negative G's in the jet.
I just think the whole thing is fun to watch. I love watching Vader, and I love that 360 camera video that they're using. It's not overdone. It looks so well. So well done in this video.
And Vader, by the way, is a very well-accomplished photographer and still photographer. He loves still photography. And if you follow him on the Facebook site and everything that he talked about over there, you can see a great example of his photography. And the only F-16 that I know of has a black radar on it. The color scheme is just very dramatic, lends itself well. The dark Falcon here from the Belgian Air Force and their F-16 solo display. And this is pretty much the entire display, by the way, that he's given us. And, that has not happened anywhere else at this point, where we get it from beginning to end, all edited together. And you can see, if you're timing this, again, with full burner, he can't be in the air all that long. Certainly not coming up on 18 or 20 minutes like we're used to seeing perhaps in North America. Short display, very loud, and it gets on and off stage and leaves you wanting more, and very, very impressive. A lot of showmanship coming from our Belgian solo display again, the F-16 Dark Falcon.
Fortunately, we are getting a chance to hear some of that burner noise from that huge engine. 9,000 pounds of force.
I love it. I love the flares. I'm looking forward to getting back to work, guys, when we get to see some of this. Hopefully, yes, but in North America. But what a cool display there by Vader. And I got to say, we kind of put this together in a hurry. I made a few phone calls, and we're going to do this socially distant air show. And I'm telling you, our friends in the foreign militaries have certainly stepped up from around the world to provide footage for this. And our hats off to them. We're not going to go very far here. We're going to stay with the jets, aren't we? You ready?
Yes, we are.
Stay with the jets. These folks came over, and I'll tell you, they just found their way into all of our hearts. The Red Arrows. We put the call out that we were looking for something unique, and here they are.
I'm Squadron Leader Adam Collins, Red 10, the supervisor and commentator for the Red Arrows. Well, 2020 is a challenging year for everyone, but particularly for healthcare workers and those fighting COVID on the front line, but also for those of us in the airshow community. We were delighted to be asked to take part in the socially distant airshow and are glad to help out our many friends we made on our recent North America tour and to support the ICAS Foundation. No one knows what the rest of 2020 will bring, but we are slowly getting back into our training and hope to be donning our red suits later on in the summer. In the meantime, we've put together some footage from our recent UK shows and from the US and Canada last year for your enjoyment. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I give you the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. So, the season in the UK finished with us flying at Riyadh in a very special mixed formation flypast with a British Airways Boeing 747 in BOAC livery. Now this flypast was very carefully planned. It was practiced in the simulator and lots of detailed coordination went into it to give these stunning images flying over Fairford during the Royal International Air Tattoo. These shots taken from the back seat of my aircraft photo chasing. You can see Red 1 tucked in behind the 747
and the other aircraft on the wings as we fly down the display line at Riyadh. And so the jet's running in now in big battle formation, the red, white and blue smoke on, about to pull up for the start of the show.
And pulling up. Short.
As Red 1 pulls to the vertical with the red, white and blue smoke on, he calls the aircraft into short diamond. The smoke's changing colour. 6, 7, 8 and 9 tucking into our trademark position.
A little bit right. Now.
Over the top of the short diamond loop, as they bend to the right, you can see that's St. Louis in the background from one of our shows in the US.
Up. Smoke on. Go.
And here as they pull up,
And roll.
in Apollo formation, rolling the formation again over St. Louis. This formation is in the shape of the Apollo landing craft to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Apollo moon landings.
Bring the bank now.
The aircraft now transition to Concorde formation, again commemorating an anniversary, this time the 50th anniversary since the first flight of Concorde. As the aircraft pull up in Concorde, they transition to Cygnet over the top of the loop. The smoke's changing, 8 and 9 moving out to the sides, seamlessly formating into the new position as they apex at 5,500 feet over the top of the loop. The aircraft come back towards us. The red, white and blue smoke comes on in one of our most technically difficult formation positions. It's Phoenix with 6 aircraft flying in line abreast, red 6 and 7 tucked in behind.
Easing up. Smoke on.
The aircraft pull up once more. The white smoke comes on, this time in Lancaster, ready for the Lancaster roll.
White Heart, wind calm. White Heart, top of the wind.
This footage is from Red 8's aircraft, tucked in the back right of the formation.
Bring the bank now. Smoke off. Go. Throttling.
And now one of the most popular manoeuvres in the Red Arrows repertoire, it's Tornado. Reds 8 and 9 are tucked in behind the rest of the formation. The coloured smoke comes on. Here we see from Red 8's aircraft, Red 8 and 9 rolling around the rest of the formation. Red 1 about to bend the aircraft to the left, making 8 and 9's life even more difficult in Tornado.
Now tightening. Elevation. Go. And pulling.
And now we have the 7 aircraft pulling to the vertical, Red 6 and 7 staying low, ready to kick off the second half in the palm split.
Now.
As the palm tree forms, Red 6 and 7 start their dynamic second half manoeuvre, positioning for the first of their opposition passes, with 8 and 9 tucked in, 4 aircraft passing within 100 feet of each other. Here we have another favourite, as Red 9 with the blue smoke on comes straight down the middle of the other aircraft in the goose. Now slightly sped up for this video, it's Red 6 and 7 pulling up and over the top for our trademark heart and spear. Look up to the top right as Red 8 comes down to spear the heart. In cockpit footage from Synchro now, as Red 6 and 7 roll inverted passing each other 150 feet down the runway, and we switch back to the rest of the formation as they're apexing the loop, ready for the start of the vertical break.
Go. You know that going flat.
Red 1 communicating with Red 6 about the second half of the show as we get ready to switch back to the rear section. Red 6 and 7 about to roll inverted. Reds 8 and 9 will roll around them with the red and blue smoke on. This footage again from Red 8. He'll have Red 9 behind him with red and blue smoke on. Red 6 and 7 maintaining inverted down the line.
Quick! 6 rolling out. Roll.
As corkscrew finishes, Enid, the front 5, come back in. Reds 2 and 3 with the blue smoke rolling around the rest of the aircraft.
Go!
Clear go, they call, which is the signal for 4 and 5 to roll. The red smoke coming on as they retake their position. As the rollback's complete, it's now time for the show finale from the 2019 show. The red, white and blue smoke comes on for the Vixen break. And now, as the Red Arrows performance in the socially distant airshow draws to a close, we'll leave you with some iconic images from our 12-week tour of the United States and Canada.
Nice job there by the Red Arrows, the RAF Red Arrows. I got to tell you, Rick, my favorite thing that I've seen of these guys all year was when they were here, they were doing the bomb bursts that they always do. Unfortunately, in New York, there was a cloud right there. And do you think that the Red Arrows saw that cloud? I don't know if Martin actually saw it or not, but I'm telling you, it was the most spectacular thing you've ever seen. When they came through there, they broke out of the cloud.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the video, and we'd like to wish you all the very best from all of us at the Red Arrows. Now it's back to Rick, Matt, and Rob at Show Center.
It was awesome. It was just incredible. I love it. Adam comes on there and talks at the very end. With great stuff, though. We had such a fun time with him while they were over here on their tour. And sincerely, Red Arrows, thank you so much for participating in our live event and sending us that footage. Just remarkable stuff. You're muted, Rick.
Oh, turn your mic on, dude.
There we go. There's another one. There's another one you can throw into the drinking game. The Adam, by the way, managed to get the team was grouped back together again. To not only do this, which we certainly appreciate, but also to pay homage, as you heard him say there, to the healthcare workers in Great Britain. But the other thing that we got to know and build these friendships while they were over here was that Adam is quite a handy guy. Not only does he work on his little sports car, and by the way, he was the last exchange pilot to Australia to fly the F-111. So he's got a lot of fast jet time in as well. And he also is like a home, when he's home with his daughter there, he's been building a gorgeous little palace for her, a playhouse, all with these little hand tools and crank drills and all that. And if that wasn't enough, he's also handmade a half-scale Land Rover. How British is this?
Yeah, I love it.
There he is.
That's Adam, by the way, under with their pet rabbit, which I hope is nothing like the rabbit in Monty Python, but there they are, and that's how he's been spending his time at home with his kids.
I love it. I love it. Well, and we'd love to see from you how you're watching the show. I know Steph Strickland's been talking a lot about that. Listen, you and I have been talking, Rick and Rob, we've been talking about this. We've seen shows cancel out all the way until October. And, we don't know what the ramifications of this are really going to be for the folks that we all know and call family. But there could be some folks, we don't know of any yet, that are going to need this money. But we do want to be ready if the need arises. So this is kind of unprecedented in that we've been able to arrange through the ICAST Foundation a vehicle just to literally give 100% of what you donate to the people who need it most. And the foundation is going to make sure that all of that is fair and equitable in the way it's given out. We're still working through this, but 100%, literally, and I mean this, 100% of the money you give during this 3-day broadcast, this 3-day socially distant air show goes to those who need it most. And so I wanted to make sure we got that in there. Steph, what's going on out there in social media land?
Everyone is super excited because we do have the Rhino demo team coming up. They're loving the jets, loving the Red Arrows, loving Vador, loving absolutely all of this. So thank you to everyone who's chiming in. I've got some quick shout outs. I've got to say hello to Home, former CF-18 demo pilot watching from Cold Lake. We've got Mikhail in Estonia. We have Jean-Francois, did I say that right, in France. We've got Catlin in Texas. We've got Zane in Texas. A special shout out to Rhett and Vera in Ontario. And my final shout out is to Steve Thorne, Flight Shops. He's got 310,000 YouTube subscribers. He's watching the stream while he's busy editing some videos. So a special shout out to him. Guys, if you want to show us where you're watching from, wherever it is in the world, and let us know on Instagram, tag Live Air Show TV. We're going to edit that together, and then we'll run some of those clips tomorrow and the next day. So that's what I'm working on over here. and everyone is really loving the sense of community. And by the way, Martin Pert, the team lead for the Red Arrows, is on the stream saying, what a great event. I hope this raises plenty. You guys, Pert, thank you very much for all of your help in all of this, sir. We do appreciate it. Back to you guys.
I'd also like to give a shout out, if I can, to Janice Wood from General Aviation News. She gave me a call this morning and she wanted to know about it. So Janice, thank you very much. And from Flying Magazine, Lisa DeFries, one of the associate publishers of the magazine. Thank you, Lisa, for your support as well and giving us some extra coverage, because I guess a lot of people are watching and we're glad you're watching, but we just don't want to forget any of our friends. And icastfoundation.org, and you'll see that number. There it is at the bottom of your screen, and you can text to give. And so just go ahead and do that and help support some of our friends who may be in great need as this year goes by. Rick, we've had over 60 cancellations so far.
I know, and it's been hard, and it's going to be hard on some of our members, people who rely on our industry for their living, and this is going to be nice to be able to give them a hand. And that's why we want to thank folks like Lucas Oil. Lucas Oil have been very generous in giving us a gift, along with our other sponsors that we'll tell you more about. There again, it's going back to my radio days, Matt. I keep saying sponsors too, but these are gifters, and we're very, very happy for that. Mike Wiskus, of course, with Lucas Oil, opened this segment that has been gifted by our friends at Lucas Oil. And we not only want to show you the routines and the flying and stay on mission as far as air shows are concerned in keeping you inspired and people excited about aviation, but at the same time, give you some insights to the human beings that fly these airplanes and get to know these people. Mike Wiskus is very proud of his son, for example. He's going to tell you about Shane in just a second here, because Shane, and unfortunately the Olympics have been canceled this year as well, was to represent the United States in a pretty impressive way. Mike?
Shane, my youngest boy, Shane Wiskus. He's kicking butt in gymnastics. He's doing very well. This season, because of the corona, of course, the NCAA put a stop to all the competitions for the college side of it. He did have a chance to do the America Cup in Milwaukee. Sam McCulloch and Shane Wiskus were competing against 10 or 12 other countries. I can't remember how many it was, and they did extremely well. My son's 21, probably the youngest one out there, and he ended up in 4th overall, which was pretty spectacular. And also, we just found out last night that he did get MVP athlete for gymnastics through, I think it was the NCAA. Very proud of my son. And the Olympics, of course, is canceled, which was kind of devastating for him. He had this wall board that he kept changing the day every day to make the countdown to the Olympics. And he did a video the other day where he pulled all the numbers off and started over for the next for 2021, which he started that originally, I think, when he was 12 or 13 years old. So it was kind of emotional when we saw him do that change, but still kind of a positive that he changed it to the 2021. He did say that it's going to give him a chance to work on some of the skills that he's wanted to work on and increase his skill level. So he's staying positive. I'm beyond proud. I'm amazed by his desire and his drive. So yeah, it's pretty amazing, and it's a fun ride.
Proud daddy.
Yeah, you can't help but be proud there with Shane Wiskus. That footage, by the way, was taken from Steve Nye's upcoming documentary called that he's made, Losing Grip, that he made with his friend there, Shane Wiskus, and it's going to be a great film when it's ready. We're sticking with our world premiere trend here. We have 2 world premieres in this hour for you. Shockwave coming up, and then a little bit later, the first time we are going to see the F-35C as part of the Legacy flight with Jim Tobel. So some neat stuff coming up, and the Rhino here in just a few moments. Rick, we have a new gifter on this hour that we want to be sure and thank.
Yeah, and I want to group them together too because they've been very generous, and that's Lockheed Martin coming up this half hour. Another wonderful gift, Geico Skies Magazine, and you'll find out more about Skies Magazine before our next 3 days are over. Lucas Oil too, and again we thank Lucas Oil and Mike Wiskus for their generosity and their gift. And this half hour, Matt, I know you want to set this up because this is the first time that this puppy, this madness at North American air shows that we call the Shockwave has been seen running, and we're about to have at it.
That's right. Let's not keep them waiting. I mean, let's just go right into this. This is so cool. How about it? The world premiere of Shockwave.
You're the kids.
And hope you guys have been staying safe during this quarantine. And my dad has been getting very, very bored, and so he decided to take Shockwave out, since he hasn't started it in a while, for a neighborhood spin.
That's his driveway.
Watch this part, though. This is the best.
What is that?
The case of Corona that he has back there.
I see. He's taking care of the Corona. I get it.
Yeah, you gotta love the Darnell family.
We'll see you at an air show soon. Hey guys, Chris Darnell with Shockwave here. Going to give you a quick walk around. We just finished doing the first smoke and fire show here at our shop, since there are no air shows going on anywhere else. We just did our own quick little show for the Live Air Show TV Distance Air Show. I want to give you a quick walk around of the new Top Gun edition of Shockwave. As you can see from the front, we have Gatling guns, just like an identical version of the GAU-8 Avenger that's on the A-10 Warthog. They're 30mm Gatling guns. We have, and up on top of the hood, we have a 50 caliber machine gun. And then over here on the side, we've got some U.S. Air Force missiles. And then on the very back is a Hellfire missile from the U.S. Army. We tried to get different throwbacks to different eras of aviation and all of the branches of government. You can see we've got a logo from every branch of the military on the truck, including the Space Force, the newest one. On the wings on each side, the wings are different on each side of the truck, but from the different F-14 Tomcat squadrons, we have different logos from them. So we tried to do a throwback to each era of aviation and some of the Warbirds, like the P-40 Warhawk, Shark on the front, just all kinds of stuff to throw back and show our appreciation to the military.
I love it. Do you remember a few years ago when they started the truck and then the cops showed up thinking that there had been a plane crash? Remember that story?
That's why they have to from now on. And he shared that on our podcast with us. So the first time that they did this without telling the neighbors thought that they'd heard a plane crash. And the next thing he knew, coming up the driveway were emergency vehicles, just about everything within a 20-mile radius coming up the driveway. So they have an agreement now, as he did with with the neighbors again, to let them know that he's firing it up. And and man, we just love the fact that he shared that with us. And there you finally have seen it. He's been itching to show it off and fired up the Shockwave in its new colors.
Yeah, the world premiere there. Well, we're going to keep with the Top Gun theme here and continue on because Steph keeps telling us she wants the jets. So air show by request here. We'll give you some jets. And again, the only F-18 that I think you're going to see on this show. We have the Rhino demo, and this is some of the coolest video I think I've ever seen from a Rhino.
From the Rhino demo team, we hope you are safe and healthy out there. We're excited to be part of this socially distant air show, And here's some short footage from our practice from last Friday out of NAS Oceana. We're excited to be back with you in person once it's safe out there.
And that's Oslo. He's in the back seat of that Super Hornet right there. This airplane has been flying with VFA 106, with the Super Hornet, has been part of the Navy flying since 1995. But what's interesting historically, that the first Hornet was a loser in a competition with the Air Force for the F-6 that the F-16 Fighting Falcon won for a lightweight fighter. But the Navy needed an airplane to replace their aging F-4 Phantoms, and so they looked to this design of the two motors that were on the YF-17, and the folks got together, they beefed it up, and it became a great aircraft for the United States Navy. And then when the F-14 Tomcat was nearing the end of its service life, they needed a replacement for that, and so they went back to that basic design, 30% larger, heavier, better radar, better weapons, and the FA-18 Super Hornet was born, as some people say, it's the Hornet's new Sting. And in the cockpit there of that airplane, in the front seat, Vince Coleman, his call sign's Leroy Jenkins. I will figure out that one later. Gotta be. That's going to be a lot of beers before we find out about that. And Luke Delizio, Oslo, is in the back seat as we watch this. Super Hornet Terra.
Pretty miserable, though.
I bet it did.
And I know I'm cutting in and out. I'm in a barn. Rick's in Canada. Rob's in Ohio. Steph's like at her kitchen somewhere. Jeff's in a third bedroom or something. We're all keeping socially distant and doing this. We already have a service call in. Hopefully the lines will dry out. We had a storm here the other night, but causing some slow internet. But this video that we're going to show you a little bit later on with the A-10, Rick, is it not just, it's so worth waiting around for?
Absolutely. And just about everything still to come in this final hour too has come from all of these different areas, as Matt was alluding to, the technical nightmare of putting all of this together. Steph is out in Portland, Oregon. Heartland, Ohio is where Rob, if you're just joining us, is joining us from. West Georgia, where Matt is and locking up. Every time you talk, you just freeze. It's kind of fun. And in Lower Alabama is where the mixing is being done by Brian. And of course, his dad, Jeff, is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then it goes to that area, and then it gets sent all the way up to Minnesota, where it's distributed to Facebook and to YouTube. And again, all over the world after that. And we've certainly welcomed you from wherever you're watching from, and Steph will plug you in with more of the updates coming up with that. But still to come up in this next half hour too, Kent Peach, Precision Exotics. This is going to need some explaining. And of course, the Thunderbirds with a little sample of what we can expect later this week. Jim Tobel is going to fly with the F-35C, the Navy Legacy flight, and it's going to be another debut, if you will, a first on the program. The A-10 is coming up before we're done. The Texas Raider Wings of Blue, they're going to jump out of a B-17, and the Patriots jet team as well before we wrap things up on day one. Matt?
What's going on with Jamie? Is he still out there in the field?
In Kentucky? Let's see if it's dry yet.
Nope.
He's still sod buster that he is.
And if you missed our earlier updates, he has found work, normally showing this vintage helicopter off at air shows and taking kids for rides and stuff. But he actually got a job in the Kentucky area drying dirt.
There you go. I got a text message from Boss Boggs. He said he was able to log in and watch the show.
I'm glad he's on. That's good.
So we're glad he's on. I was worried. I'm not going to lie. I was worried when the email went out and we asked Kent Peach to send us a video. I was worried what he was going to send us because, well, it's Kent. And take a look.
Hi, everyone. Sitting here doing paperwork.
What kind of paperwork?
Very important paperwork. Missing everybody. Hope to see you soon. Be safe. Bye.
Very important paperwork.
Jelly Belly Interstate Cadet from Kent Peach.
I love that guy. Thanks for playing. Rick, you like to go fast. You were talking about Precision Exotics. These guys love to go fast.
Yeah, they really do. And again, for those of you, and I would love to get the reaction from the Europeans that saw the Shockwave a little while ago, because you don't see that over the European shows. But here's something else that happens here. Eric Nelson, former Marines F-18 technician, runs a Ferrari and a Lamborghini in special paint that you're about to see in just a moment at air shows. And he lets folks get behind the wheel of his exotic automobiles. They sit his team in the passenger seat, but people can actually buy the ride and drive it as fast as they dare up and down the runway in between acts at the shows that he's working with. They drive the air bosses nuts, as you're probably about to hear in their communications, because they only get that moment to get down and get back with their passenger and then get out of the way of the rest of the air show. So basically, that's what they do, Precision Exotics. And in Hartsfield, Jackson is where they're from in the Georgia area. So let's see, as Eric Nelson has sent us something as well from Precision Exotics.
Hello out there, all you airshow fans. Precision Exotics here, bringing you our first performance of 2020. All the donations from this production are going to go to help those in our industry in need, so please, give what you can. Well, in the interest of social distancing in today's climate, we've got our team spread out all over the globe. We got Dave lost as usual somewhere in the wilderness. We've got James living it up on a beautiful beach. And Nick, well, poor old Nick, he's cold it looks like. But we're ready to get to work here. How about you guys?
I don't know, Eric. It looks pretty crowded out there. You may not get in.
Dave, you're always such a negative Nancy. We got this.
Okay, guys, I tell you what, let's try and get this done. Boss Exotics, ready to go.
Exotics, I got a couple in front of you, so just continue to hold short.
Roger, Boss Exotics, hold it short.
I don't want to be a naysayer, but it's not looking good.
Come on, Dave. Don't you remember what we talked about? The power of positive thinking?
Boss Exotics, we're still here.
Stand by, Exotics. I'm working on it. Stand by.
Hey, Boss Exotics, any idea how much longer?
Don't rush me, Exotics. I'm working on an issue here. Continue to stand by.
Hey, guys, if it's going to be much longer, can somebody give me some toilet paper?
No, I don't think we can help you with that.
Grandpa, what did I tell you?
Actually, you know what? Never mind. I got something that'll work. Boss Exotics, any new word?
Go.
Boss Exotics, you still there? I'll give him 30 more minutes.
Yeah, I don't know, Eric. I think he might have left us.
Oh, come on, Dave. I'm sure he wouldn't forget about us. Again?
So there need for speed.
Yeah.
Don't give up their day jobs, but then again, we're kind of all in the same boat. But there you go, a fine use for the 2020 schedule, as he pointed out. So there's Precision Exotics, and Marietta, Georgia is where Delta have parked almost all of their airliners. And when they open the hangar doors and want to go out for a little run to tune up the Ferrari or the Lamborghini, that's what they are faced with right now. There's no room to go anywhere at the airport, as all those airlines sadly are parked there. Matt?
Well, it's also a big hub there for our friends at Lockheed Martin, and our thanks to them for their generous gift helping out the ICAST Foundation. Folks, take a look at what is coming up on Thursday, because the Thunderbirds, they have sent us something that is so incredibly neat. We can't wait for you to see it, but we're going to wait till Thursday to close out the show, to close out this broadcast with America's team. But take a look at this little clip here from the Thunderbirds.
Hello, everybody. My name's Lieutenant Colonel John Caldwell, Thunderbird 1.
Boat run! Ready down the boat! Ready now. Arrow! Coming up, right there!
Now look back to the and find Thunderbirds 5 and 6 teamed up this time to create a mirror image in their trade.
Like that a little more.
Can't wait to get back to it. Can you guys? It's going to be so much fun. Well, Rick, are you all right? You look a little...
I'm fine, Matt. Thank you. It's I maybe have had too much coffee. We've been going just in the preparations for this thing. We've been going full throttle for the best part of, I think, 2.5, 3 weeks. Yeah. And it's all coming together today, and we're trying to overcome every technical issue that could probably pop up. And Jeff Lee is going to expire at this moment. He and Brian are working in the background, so terribly hard too. And we appreciate everything that Live Airshow TV has done to make our little discussion. Matt started this discussion weeks ago, and since then we've had the ICAST folks, the ICAST Foundation folks, start pulling in the same direction that we wanted to go in to help our industry and those who may need. And of course, Live Airshow TV, Jeff and Brian jumped right in, so we can't thank them enough, Matt.
Well, it looks kind of grassroots, but I'll tell you, folks, it's really weeds that you're seeing. It's a lot of weeds and grass. We're taking whatever we can. Rob is holding 2 paper clips together right now. In fact, under the desk.
That's right. I got 2 paper clips right in the middle of the last segment. I got lawnmowers going up and down the window, so I'm having to mute things. So, but anyway, they're taking care of the weeds for that. But we certainly are excited about what the Thunderbirds are going to do for us, and we also want to talk about this Navy Legacy flight too. I think are we ready for that one?
Well, almost.
We're going to check in with Steph first, because I got to find out how the rest of the world, Matt, is dealing with all of this today as well.
How are we doing, Steph?
Well, one of the things I did is I'm telling people on both our YouTube channel as well as on our Facebook page what's coming up next. And as we've already discussed and joked about, everybody's super fired up about the jets. So yes, the A-10 is coming very quickly. We really like to make people who are out there watching all over the world a part of this broadcast. So I'd like to say hello to Craig in Scotland. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Greg, by the way, also wants you to know that he is really enjoying hearing a lot of the behind the scenes, the comms, those sorts of things that the Thunderbirds are showing us, and other folks as well. So with that said, if you would like to be a part of our broadcast tomorrow and the next day, all you have to do is record a little video of yourself watching the Socially Distant Air Show from wherever you are in the world, and tag us, Live Airshow TV, on Instagram. We'll download those, put them together in a little clip, and we'll run them in the broadcast tomorrow and the next day. But yes, A-10 is coming, guys. It's coming.
No waiting in line right now at the bathrooms, by the way. They're all open.
There's lots of shade.
Lots of
And a lot of people are watching here that may not be actually familiar with our podcast. We are now, 32 episodes in at Show Center, the Air Show podcast. And you can get it on Podbean and on Apple Music. Is that what it is, Matt? Apple Music?
Wherever you get your podcast, you can get us.
We have on the RSS feed for Warbird Radio too, which is really easy to use too, if you're not in all that stuff.
And the reason we feel compelled to say that too is because if you're a regular listener to our podcast, you'll know that we run it pretty loose. And the technical glitches live in that world as well, because again, we're coming from all these different places around the world and trying to bring it together. And if you're wondering why aren't these guys all polished, and where's it, and doing this in a presenter's kind of way, like a television show, it's because we don't live in that world. We've all worked in television and radio in the past, but we tend to run things loose and have a great time doing it too. And we hope you're having fun watching.
And this is the best dressed you'll ever see us. That's for sure.
That's right. Let's get back to the planes here with Torque Tobel, Jim Torque Tobel, and his gorgeous Corsair. And the first time we're seeing the F-35, this is the Charlie model joined up. There's Scooter Yoke in there too, I think.
Yeah.
And we'll also see, this is actually from January when we get into this next bit of footage as they join up with the Rhino there. This is the legacy flight training where they actually get together with not only the Rhinos, but also the F-35. We'll see that in a minute. But just like the Air Force Heritage Flight, the guys with the Navy Legacy Flight go through a very, very serious series of flights and briefs and debriefs so that no matter where they go in the country and meet up, they're all going to be safe. And it's only a handful of folks who do this kind of stuff for the United States Navy's Legacy Flight. Rick?
I just love watching how close in, of course, as the Legacy Flight with Jim Tobel in this beautifully restored Corsair of his is rehearsing, and shortly we'll see the F-35C. But the Corsair, Matt, and I know your heart is in Warbirds, is just a beautiful flying machine.
It sure is. And Jim Tobel, there's no finer gentleman on earth than Jim Tobel. Torque is his call sign, and this very airplane is one that has been in his family for some time. And it's just a great thing to watch. And, these stories matter. I always say that, but these stories really matter. The stories of our American airmen, both past and present, and our naval aviators, like we're paying tribute to. I use the term airman pretty loosely. I know that irritates the Navy guys and gals out there, but folks who have flown in defense of our freedoms here in the U.S., these stories matter. And the Legacy Flight helps tell that. Other countries have similar programs, but the Navy does a really great job here with the Legacy Flight. We're just so happy to have it. In just a few seconds, we'll see some more footage here from Mark McGinn, who I believe has been sending us this footage from Onboard Images, a partner there with Live Air Show TV, and has been a Sword of Excellence recipient himself within the International Council of Air Shows for the work that he's put together with some of these great images. But our thanks to Mark for submitting so many of these images that we're seeing here today. I got to tell you, the warmth there, Rick, must look pretty nice to you over that those placid waters down there in Florida right now.
No kidding. This room is getting a little drafty. I'm going to put a log on the fire here in just a moment because it's been a cold and windy day here. But again, with these Legacy flights, it is and the pass is a little bit different than what we see with the Air Force. They do the tail hook down pass too, and a nice tribute. But here, I think, and it's a little hard to see on my little screen, but you also see Jim forming up with some other Warbirds now. And he often flies the class of 45 with Scott Yoke, doesn't he, Matt?
Yeah, it sure does. The joint program there between Scooter Yoke, and for those watching at home, you can't see the monitor right now, so put a check mark by your by your final scores there.
The F-35.
There it is, the F-35 coming in there the last few seconds.
Yes,
really cool to see the
first time ever that this happened. This footage is the actual first time that this was actually took place, I should say. So the F-35C model, the heaviest of the three, as I recall, and Jim Tobel in the airplane that he and his dad spent 16 years restoring, his late dad, Joe Tobel. And they call it part of the class of 45 because this one actually didn't see action in World War II, but it did see action in Korea on the Boxer and the Valley Forge, and that is Jim Torque Tobel and the F-35 along with the Corsair.
Is that the nicest thing you could say about the F-35C, is that it's the heaviest?
Heaviest.
I mean, really, Rob? Like
talked about all, but the data capabilities and all the other capabilities, but it is the heaviest because it's got to put up with the controlled crashes on the decks of carriers. So we'll have plenty of nice things to say about it, but whatever.
Bigger wingspan. It's just a beefed up version. It's the F-35 on steroids, if you will. Matt?
Love it. Well, this next performer, without further ado, is near and dear to all of our hearts. It brings the Burt to every show, and if you know what I'm talking about, then you know I am speaking of the A-10. And here's Cody. This thing is just incredible.
Hello, everybody. Major Cody Wilton here with the A-10 demonstration team, and we are excited to be a part of the Socially Distant Air Show. We want to thank Live Air Show TV, Show Center Productions for hosting and allowing us to be a part of it. And hopefully you enjoy the footage that is to follow of training here at DM and air shows during 2019.
To dive, it was designed to fight Soviet armor back in the Cold War. And after the Soviet Union collapsed, they thought, it's done. And then came the Gulf War, so they brought it back, and it's proved itself again and again. And I don't know whether you guys are hearing the same kind of numbers I'm hearing, but the A-10, I think, could be lasting for another 18, 20 years, possibly.
They did fix the wing. It's got a new wing, and the F-35 is supposed to be replacing the F-16 and the A-10. But I think you're right, Rob. Matt, this is the airplane they can't kill.
I love it. I just think it's one of the greatest things on earth. And man, look at this. He has really given us a good look at the A-10. The paint scheme on this thing harkens back to invasion stripes there from Normandy and everything else. And I love that they're pulling in those stories of whose shoulders we stand upon with those great airmen, making it a part of the show today. I just think it's great.
The sound of it is, we don't hear burners and stuff. It's kind of a quiet jet. And yet when the loads go on the wings, when it's pulling away and up, it's very impressive to hear the air and the flex in that airplane, or the lack of it. It's all built around the gun, as we've said for years now. And yet, look at how graceful it is in the sky, despite its job, its business end, and of course that huge gun that it's built around. It's a beautiful thing to watch fly, even though it's described. We've even said at air shows, please don't laugh at the A-10 pilots. They can't help it if the airplane's ugly. But I think they like that it's that ugly, and it is referred to affectionately as the Hawk.
Yeah, but
the soldiers on the ground love that airplane because it's designed for close air support, obviously, and they're so accurate that they are able to
flares.
There's the flares. I'm sorry. Yeah, there they go again. They're so accurate that they can place that GAU Avenger Gatling gun within 40 meters accurately of ground troops, and the ground troops on our side will be protected. It's pretty cool stuff.
Shameless plug here for the A-10 guys on Warbird Radio right now. If you listen to Rain's new show called The Afterburn, as an A-10 story on there you're not going to want to miss. It is remarkable. And that aircraft and its close air support mission and everything that it does, I'm telling you, there is nothing more feared than the A-10 when it comes to being the bad guy. Really remarkable jet. There you have it, the A-10.
Thank you, Cody Shiv Wilton, for doing a demo. And fancy visor. He's got one of those Oakley coated visors, so that's a little extra demo thing for him.
You have one of those in your RV? Do you fly with one of those, Rob?
No, I just wear a Clark headset. That's enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Rick wears the RV is no chipmunk, Matt. Matt flies a chipmunk. Rob flies an RV. I take Uber.
Okay. Well, this next clip is it blends old with new, and I'm talking about a B-17 Texas Raiders, one airplane that I grew up watching and loving. Texas Raiders, owned by the Commemorative Air Force, decided to take some passengers who were really not interested in the full ride, mainly just the takeoff. And I think you'll see what we're talking about in this clip. That's the Wings of Blue, by the way.
Now they're going to get on board, and they're not going to use the exit door, Matt.
Well, that is not in the plan here. They're pilots, I think. probably not getting to go. There's the team. And Texas Raiders, how about that? A B-17G down there in just outside of Houston, Texas.
An award-winning restoration, too. It's just beautiful. And fresh paint the last couple of years as well. But there's the Wings of Blue. They're on board this B-17. The chase plane is going up with some of the other jumpers as well. From the Academy, of course, these jumpers from the Air Force Academy. We just saw the class of 2020 graduate, didn't we, Rob?
We certainly did, and Thunderbirds did their flyover, and that was a pretty cool thing. As we see this vintage airplane with a bunch of young guys who are probably so excited about the opportunity to be able to do that jump as they threw the wind drift indicators or the streamers out to determine what the winds are going to be like at this between 2,000 feet and the surface as they climb higher and higher. And as the guys work their way back in the fuselage of the B-17, we'll be able to see just how narrow the walkway is over the bomb bay, and that's where they're gonna get out of the plane. They're gonna drop them like bombs.
And it is a tight fit, believe me. If it was me getting ready to jump out of the bomb bay, it would not happen. It would be just a quick, and I would be there for the rest of the flight probably. Not even the landing would jar me loose. There you get a look at just how narrow it is. And there they are getting ready as they straddle, getting ready to go. Matt, this would not be something I would want to do.
Oh, I've been through those Bombay catwalks there quite a few times in flight, and I've always thought about these jumpers that do this. I don't know. There's a lot to hit your head on right here, but these folks, you know, college kids up there at the Air Force Academy, really trained. Look at this. There they go, right through the Bombay.
And we're going to get outside shots from the chase plane as well, so you see what this looks like from outside the B-17 Texas Raiders. Here they go. Watch this. Smoke off lets the guys know. And by the way, that smoke trail thing takes part in the Tora team. We'll see them later when they simulate one of the B-17s that tried to land on that fateful day, that infamous day at Pearl Harbor. But they use that to let the team know they're ready to go. And the Wings of Blue from the Air Force Academy now skydiving right out of the bomb bay of that historic B-17. Matt?
And a great big thank you to Kevin Hong for the video that he shot on this. That's really super. Thank you, Kev.
You can't even hear Kevin screaming right now. I mean, he did such a great job with that. Kevin Hong, our friend down there in Houston with Sector K Media, doing a great job. And look at this landing. This is the part I always love to watch. These guys do such an outstanding job there. Perfect. Well, we've saved the best for last today. I know what the A-10 guys and everybody are saying about that, but some of my favorite folks to watch in the air shows when you get out west are the Patriots. The Patriot jet team. It's a civilian jet team literally made up of former Thunderbirds and that other jet team. Everybody else, they're all there.
And a snowbird too. Don't forget Robert Mitchell too was one of the pilots on board this team as well.
And they bring their expertise together to which I think is one of the most remarkable jet teams, period. Not just civilian jet teams, but just jet teams in general. Take a look, will you, at what the Patriots have sent us to close our show out.
A little full. Full set. Go ski now. Found that. Stop 371 90. Back in with the pull. Stand by blue. Blue out ready now. Blue smoke up. Rolling now. What about that? On top 2-1. Blue, roll. And hit it. Quick-o. Smoke out turn. Smoke on ready now. Show center.
firm. 6 firm. Break ready now. Roll out. Roger 1. 1 Cali 3. Good time. That's you say. 1. Special on pass. Smoke gone. Left turn. Continuous one. Little power up. Now. Holy. Back. Show center. Smoke. Smoke on ready now. Stand by break. Break ready now.
I love watching the Patriots at home, and it's just as good. What can I say? Rick, Rob?
Over the bay there, by the way, San Francisco, and what a great venue that is for AIRSHOW during Fleet Week. And if you, I mean, you look to the left, you've got the Golden Gate Bridge. Alcatraz is show center, basically, and the Bay Bridge off to the right. And all those beautiful people. And painting the sky with their colored smoke, the Patriots jet team. And by the way, just a Top Gun thing, with the movie being pushed back because of what we're all going through too with Corona. Now I've got the beer on my mind. The COVID-19 crisis that we're all dealing with. The fact that I forgot my entire train of thought on that, but all the same,
I will say,
great to see them in San Francisco.
We're going with that. They actually did a remake of the Top Gun. You remember the canopy? My buddy Blair Bunting did that. Go check that out. It's pretty cool. The Patriots jet team. Thank you so much.
I meant to say that, yes, one of the jets from the team was used in the filming of chasing the airplanes for Top Gun 2. But we got to get Steph in here and find out how this has been going today.
How do we do, Steph?
Fantastic. This was so fun. For those of you watching on YouTube, in particular, AIRSHOW stuff, I'm talking about you and SoCal AIRSHOW review. I did text Shiv to see if I can get an answer to your question about the Pate scheme sticking around for next year, since so many of us won't be able to see it on the A10. If he answers me, I'll let you guys know tomorrow when we rejoin the live stream. Also want to give a special shout out to John O'Brien. John is en route to China right now and basically working to help in the fight against COVID-19. So John, thank you very much for tuning in. We're glad we could be part of your day, and thank you for the work you're doing. Also, Vicky in Kelowna, BC, both Gina and Stacy saying the A10 is their favorite. And I have to show you this. I got this sent to me. This is little Nicolina right there, who is watching, as you can see the Red Arrows as they fly, having a snack. So it's been a really great day. Thank you for everyone with all the comments in the chat. We do appreciate it. We'll see you guys from the chat perspective tomorrow.
All right, are we finished? What else we need to do? We're done, aren't we?
Well, we should probably tease a little bit about what's coming up tomorrow too, because tomorrow's going to be another exciting day with more jet teams, Matt.
That's right. We do have a lot to come. Brian, we have some video, don't we?
No, we don't.
No, we don't have video. We'll wait. I'm going to play the music.
We dried it up.
Yeah, we dried it up. Hey, listen, seriously though, thank you for all that you've given today. Thank you for your help. I think we're on goal. We'll worry about that later. Two things though with this show: we want to entertain you, and we want to raise a little money. So if you can help, please be generous. The numbers are on your screen down there below. I am Matt Jolly, and that's Rick and Rob. Whatever side they're on.
Go ahead.
Are we ready to go? Let's go.
I'm not. Are we done yet?
We're done.
And again, if you ever join our podcast, this is pretty much how it goes every time. So from Ontario, Canada,
from Loveland, Ohio,
and from Georgia. So long, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
3 o'clock.